Ron Washington always knew Matt Harrison had talent, but the results were inconsistent. During the winter, the Ranger lefty devoted himself to improving the mental approach to his craft. The results speak for themselves, as Harrison has become a key piece in one of baseball's best rotations. Now the skipper smiles a lot when Matt takes the mound. That happens just moments away on Fox Sports Southwest. Saturday night crowd on hand for Game 2 of the three-game series between the Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Rangers coming off a 12-2 runaway last night, trying to take care of Game 2 this evening as we welcome you, Dave Barnett, along with Tom Grieve. If Nelson Cruz is anything like the Nelson Cruz we saw last night, we are in for another show tonight.
Yeah, he's in for a pretty good two-game stretch if he is. He knocked in 8 runs last night. It was Nelly Cruz and the Michael Young show last night. Nelly, the second time up, put the game in good shape for the Rangers with a 3-run homer. That made it 5-0 to left center field. He went on to knock in 8 runs. His last 2 times up, he had 2 singles to drive in 4 runs. And in the month, he's been really hot.
With those 8 RBIs, one off the franchise record, by the way, tied for the most runs batted in with 21 this month. The news out of the Rangers camp today involving Adrian Beltre, diagnosed after an MRI today with a grade 1 strain of his left hamstring, expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks, perhaps not as bad as we worried it might be. And so for tonight, and no doubt for a good part of these next 2 to 3 weeks, Michael Young takes over in the cleanup spot after his own 4-for-4 game last night. Matt Harrison against Carlos Villanueva with the lineups and the first pitch coming up next. It's a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Right around 100 degrees as the Rangers take the field for Game 2 against the Blue Jays. And down on the field, let's welcome Emily Jones.
Well, Dave, we all know and have all heard about what Chris Davis has been doing at the plate in AAA, absolutely crushing the ball, but he's also been playing some pretty good defense as well. They experimented with him a little bit in the outfield. He performed well there, but 26 of his 48 starts have come at third base, and he says that is where he feels the most comfortable.
I feel like, to be honest with you, I'm probably more comfortable at third right now than I am at first, just because I've been playing third more. You know, I mean, I first is still a position I feel like I can go over there and play really well, but I feel really good right now.
Chris Davis with tonight's Geico quote of the game. This is his 3rd big league stint this season. He says the key to translating from AAA to the big leagues is to not put too much pressure on himself. He says he doesn't feel a sense of urgency. He's just hoping to carry over what he's been doing in Round Rock here to Arlington, guys.
Well, I don't think anybody at all up here would be disappointed if he carries over what he was doing at Round Rock, because he was absolutely destroying the Pacific Coast League. Hitting .368, 24 homers, 66 runs batted in 48 games with the Express. And interesting to hear him say before the game that, as Emily said, he feels more comfortable at third, having played so much more third base lately, than at first, as we look at tonight's Toronto Blue Jays. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. And again, Escobar, the shortstop, leading off, followed by Thames. Bautista DHing tonight. Lind at first, the Ranger killer. Encarnacion is at third. Aaron Hill is at second. Travis Snyder left field today. Rajai Davis gets the start in center. And 2 homers last night for J.P. Arancibia. And Matt Harrison going for his 9th win of the year.
Yeah, Matt's been pitching great baseball. Winning record, he's got his ERA under 3 now at 2.91. His last 2 starts, he's 2-0. He's won both of them. ERA in his last 2 starts, 0.59. Only giving up 1 extra base hit in that time. 14 quality starts out of his 18 starts. Been a terrific season so far for Matt. Trying to take it another step further today against a real good hitting team. Blue Jays can hit the ball.
Escobar 0 for 4 last night. 100 degrees for tonight's first pitch. Escobar going 0 for last night. That ended a career best streak. He had reached base, hit or walked in the previous 25 consecutive games, and now it's 1-2. Former second-round pick by the Braves, having defected from Cuba previous year to the draft, 2004. And the Blue Jays got him about a year ago in a multiplayer trade, 2-2. Matt Harrison with the 9th best earned run average in the American League at 291. Going back to May 22nd, right at 2 months, it's 194, and that is 5th in the major leagues. So that's the kind of run he's been on. Winner of his last 2 decisions, 3 of his last 4, and 5 of his last 8. And his 3-2 pitch to Escobar gets a chopper. And Elvis Andrus commits the error on what was going to be a pretty routine play. He commits his 18th error of the year.
Yeah, the last 2 errors, the one last night on the double play ball and this one, are just lacks in concentration, lacking concentration. I mean, that ball takes a hop that you dream about right there. It just looked like he put his hand in his glove too quickly and missed the ball. Those are just plays that, you know, you're in a pennant race. You have to have the concentration to make those plays day in and day out. And the last couple of days, Elvis has lacked that concentration.
Here on a ball hit by Encarnacion in the 7th last night, and on the very first pitch to Thames, Escobar thrown out trying to steal by Yorvit Torrealba.
Well, and that pretty much eliminates the error. We're back to square one now. Elvis feels good about that. And after he missed the ball last night, there might have been a double play. The Rangers pitched out of that jam. Elvis gets a chance to slap the tag on Escobar. He's out easily trying to steal second base. Thank you very much.
And that one will end up in the corner as it's run down by Cruz. Eric Thames into second base with a double. That, if not for the previous play, would have given the Blue Jays a quick 1-0 lead.
Pretty nice job of hitting right there by Thames. Well, he took a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Got the good part of the bat on it, too.
Eric Thames hitting very well since being called up. Better than 300 in his 20 games. And Matt Harrison with the challenge here with Jose Bautista. 31 home runs, far and away the major league leader again this year. 68 runs batted in and hitting .330. With an RBI chance here in his very first at bat of the game. 0 for 2 with a walk last night. Ron Washington talking about Bautista's great balance. That's what Wash sees as the key to Bautista's fantastic 2010 and first half of this season. Will not chase a bad pitch. Will not let a good hittable pitch go without sending it hard somewhere.
That's a good pitch. You can pound a good power hitter on the inside part of the plate. Keep him from extending his arms. You have a little bit better chance. Just like that, he jammed him with that one. Took one, got jammed with another. The other thing it does, it sets up your other pitches. If you make the hitter aware of that fastball in like that, just makes your changeup away that much better. It's hard to lean out over the plate for something off speed if you're worried about a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside corner.
Rangers' plans for Bautista: do not let him beat you. Bases are empty. Pitch to him. Otherwise, extreme care. And he strikes out swinging.
That's about as well as you can pitch Bautista right there. He pounded him inside with 2 fastballs and then punches him out with looked like a cutter down and in. And you won't have a whole lot of times where you see Bautista overmatched in an at-bat like that. First base open. Matt showing no inclination to pitch around him, to walk him. Went right after him with his best stuff and made great pitches.
So now Adam Lind, the other half of the Pick Your Poison section of this Blue Jays lineup. Adam Lind, a Ranger killer. And Harrison starts him with a strike. Lind last night 1 for 4, 34 games lifetime against Ranger pitching, .299, 15 home runs and 41 runs batted in. 20 games here at Rangers ballpark, 10 homers, 28 runs batted in. And that one trouble if it's fair, and it is a fair ball rattling around in the corner. Thames comes home and it's 1-0 Blue Jays. A 2-double first inning and another Adam Lind RBI against the Rangers.
Well, both fastballs that the 2 left-hand hitters have hit have been on the inside part of the plate. And he threw that ball where he tried to throw it. You can see Torrealba setting up inside. So the pitch was executed successfully. The plan to throw him in wasn't executed successfully. Lind was ready for that pitch. Well, left-hand hitters have hit 55 points higher against Matt than right-hand hitters. You know, he's had the changeup and the cutter in to counteract right-hand hitters, but he hasn't been able to come up with a pitch to really disable left-hand hitters. They're hitting over 290 against him.
So here's Encarnacion, who was 0 for 4 last night.
There's a changeup to a right-hand hitter. Some people think it's a left-handed changeup to a right-hand hitter is a better pitch than a left-hand changeup to a left-hand hitter. I've always felt that a change of speed is a change of speed. Torrealba wasn't looking for that curveball, but he was able to catch it, and it goes in there for a strike. He was looking for a fastball. If you're looking for a fastball, you can make an adjustment to catch a curveball. Watch the adjustment he makes. He thinks it's a fastball. Whoops. Brings his glove down to catch a curveball because it's slower. If he's looking for the curveball and gets the fastball, then you don't have time to make an adjustment. It usually sails right by you.
So nice adjustment to being handcuffed, and it's 1-2. And Harrison now strike away from getting out of the inning. Encarnacion, another hot Toronto Blue Jay bat coming into this series. Last 11 games, just under a 400 hitter. 3 3-hit games and a 4-hit game out of those 11. Former Ranger 9th round draft pick, 2000, out of high school in Caguas, Puerto Rico. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. Encarnacion sent to the Reds along with Ruben Mateo in the Rob Bell trade. And the Jays got him at the trade deadline 2 years ago in the Scott Rowland trade. And Harrison about to throw his 20th pitch of the first inning. Just off the plate. And the second full count of the inning for Matt. And a completely different pitcher than his previous outing against the Blue Jays, April 26th. Still trying to establish his season. And another strikeout. 2 strikeouts, but 2 doubles. And a first inning run for the Blue Jays. Rangers coming to bat. First inning, trailing 1-0. The lineup tonight for Ron Washington, as brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Kinsler, Andrews, Hamilton, Josh in center field. Michael Young, the cleanup hitting DH tonight. Nelson Cruz moves up to 5th. David Murphy batting 6th, and left. Torrealba catching. Chris Davis back up from Round Rock at third base, and Mitch Moreland batting ninth at first, and Carlos Villanueva, 27-year-old Dominican, 5-2.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball pretty well. 5-2, a nice ERA. Fewer hits than innings pitched. He has good command. He doesn't walk many. At least six innings in his last 7 starts. And he's pitched way better on the road than he has back in Toronto. He's got a good assortment of pitches. He's been a relief pitcher for most of his career. Getting a chance to start now after 10 relief appearances to start the season.
Yeah, he gave Kinsler a big slow curve for strike one. Comes back with the fastball and is quickly 0-2 for Ian. With a hit last night, he's hit in 15 of his last 17 games at better than 300. Villanueva exclusively in relief the last 2 years, with the Brewers 8-0 in 84 appearances. Opponent batting average of just .222. And his opponent batting average this year very close to that, .226 on the road, much better. 194. All home teams are hitting against Villanueva.
And he was a pretty good acquisition. He signed originally with the Giants, was traded to Milwaukee. Toronto got him for a player to be named later, which turned out to be a cash transaction. But he didn't give up much to get him. And he had a fairly decent track record, really. I'm sure they thought they were going to use him in relief all season long. But they had a couple of injuries. They gave him a chance to start, and it worked out really well.
Into foul territory. It is tracked down by Edwin Encarnacion, and Kinsler fouls out. Here's the Blue Jay defense behind Villanueva. The outfield, Snyder, center field last night. Left tonight, Davis is in center, and Thames again at right. Encarnacion, Escobar, Hill, and Lynn to the infield. And the rookie, Aaron Sebia, with 2 home runs for the entire Toronto scoring last night, doing the catching again. So here's Elvis. His first inning error turned out to be inconsequential. And now trying to get reignited at the plate. Last 5 games, he is 3 for 20. All 3 of those hits against Jared Weaver in Anaheim on Thursday afternoon. Really the only Ranger to have that much success against Weaver in a 1-0 Angel victory. Elvis, though, hitting well at home before the Rangers took off on their West Coast trip to begin the second half of the season. And that one doesn't miss by much. The home plate umpire tonight is Tony Randazzo. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, is at first. Dan Bellino at second, and Chris Conroy is at third. Check swing. First base umpire Gorman says he didn't go, and it's 2-2.
All through Villanueva's career, he's had good numbers in the minor leagues. He had almost 500 innings. Definite check swing. He had an ERA of .326. Way fewer hits than innings pitched, about a strikeout per inning. But good numbers in the minor leagues, and then his overall big league numbers are pretty good too. 509 big league innings, only 476 hits. Throughout his career, he's always had less than 3 walks per 9 innings. And he gets his share of strikeouts.
See what he gets here on the 3-2 pitch, a foul ball.
Certainly an under-the-radar transaction when Toronto acquired him. But he's fit into their staff pretty nicely.
4 relief appearances against the Rangers. 1-0 at .235 earned run average. 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 2/3. And now in a start. Again, the 3-2 pitch to Andrews. And again fouled on. Rangers with the best home record in the American League after the win last night. 32-18 with 8 straight wins here at the ballpark. Last time Rangers won 9 in a row here, May, June 2005. The third longest home winning streak in franchise history. That one headed for the gap, but Thames is there. Reaches up for out number 2. And now Josh Hamilton. Hamilton in center field tonight. And Tom, I guess it's in a way a good thing last night. The Rangers putting up 12 runs on 13 hits, and they didn't need anything from Josh. He was 0 for 4. Did reach on an intentional walk, couple of strikeouts. So often it's the Rangers have a big offensive night. Josh is in the middle of it, and last night there was plenty to give him a night to not have to be right in the middle of things.
I've gone to a different kind of a shift tonight. Instead of having the third baseman out in right field, they've got more of a traditional shift.
Hamilton last night had the third baseman, who was Bautista, handle the ball in short right field and throw him out from there, so it was 5-3, even though he was a couple hundred feet away from third base. Not nearly as radical a look here.
No, this is kind of a normal shift. You've got the third baseman playing shortstop, and the shortstop playing straight up the middle. Second baseman shading over toward first base a little.
And a measure of how hot Josh has been, even taking the 0 for last night. Still has driven in more runs than all but 2 American leaguers in the month of July. And those 2 are his teammates. Nelson Cruz now leading the league this month. 21 runs batted in. Adrian Beltre 19 before he went out last night with a hamstring, and Hamilton with 18. Cruz hoping he can get a first inning at bat here. Hamilton with Young on deck. And 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh.
Well, the one thing you can see through only 19 pitches with Villanueva, he uses all those pitches. He's got a good changeup, average fastball, big curveball, slider.
And Josh hammers the curveball for a base hit to right field.
He tried the 3-2 curveball. Didn't look like a bad curveball. Broke pretty sharply, kept it down. But it didn't fool Josh. 3-2. He stayed right with it. Borderline strike, really, at the bottom of the strike zone.
Thames playing deep out there. So able to hold Josh to one base. And here is Michael Young off his 4 for 4 4-run performance last night. 4 runs tying his career high. And looks at a first pitch strike from Villanueva. Young and Cruz each individually out hitting the entire Blue Jays team last night, which got 2 runs on 3 base hits. Aaron Sebia homers and a single by Lind. And nothing in 2. These are the last 2 games. The 2-hitter by C.J. Wilson Thursday, 3 hits last night off Colby Lewis and Arthur Rhodes. Toronto with a run on 2 hits in their half of the first inning, and now the Rangers trying to get it back. John Farrell managing the Blue Jays to a 50-50 record, 26-26 on the road, 24-24 at Rogers Center, where the Rangers will be this time next week. Their first visit to Toronto next Friday night, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. And that series will wrap up the season series of 10 games. Two and two to Young. Major league hits. Only Adrian Gonzalez and Jose Reyes have more than Michael Young. And that gap is getting smaller, it seems, by the day. Opposite field bid there, but pop foul into the seats. And it's now going to be at least a 26 pitch first inning for Villanueva. Ranger win tonight. They clinched their 4th series victory out of the last 5 and can think about their 8th series sweep of the year tomorrow night when Alexio Gondo takes the mound again against Brett Cecil. Three straight full counts. Andrews fly to right at 3-2. Hamilton singled at 3-2. We'll see what happens with Young. And this after Kinsler fouled out on a 2-2 pitch. So the Rangers getting deep in every count so far. The first 4 batters to face Villanueva. And there goes Hamilton as Michael spoils that one. Michael, of course, formerly Toronto property. They drafted him in the 5th round out of Cal Santa Barbara in 1997.
A little bit of everything. Most of them away.
And this time the opposite field bid lands fair. Hamilton will be held at 3rd. And the Rangers now with the makings of a 2-out first inning rally.
Thames was playing Michael way over toward the foul line and shallow on a ball that if you just watched the ball hit, you might assume that was going to be a double for Michael. But Thames was right there to field it, and probably a good thing he was playing over there, not just to keep Michael from getting a double, but possibly from keeping Josh on 3rd base instead of scoring.
So 8-pitch battle won by Michael Young. 5 for 5 now in this series. And here is Nelson Cruz, who will try to be the same. Off a career night last night. And a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Nelson 4 hits last night. RBI double, 3-run homer, and then a pair of 2-run singles. 8 RBIs, 1 off the franchise record set in 1999 by Pudge Rodriguez. Hammers that one, but foul, and it's 0-2 on Coors Light cold hard blast. The 3-run home run in the 4th inning. 416-footer for Nelly's 22nd of the year. Just out in front of that one. Hit hard and right between Josh Hamilton at 3rd and Dave Anderson coaching him at 3rd. So still 0-2, and this will be the 31st pitch of the first inning for Villanueva. Josh Hamilton narrowly escaping that shot. Wow. Gave him a little haircut. Cruz last night had great success going up the middle. See if he carries that over. 1-2 pitch, one hopper, Escobar to end the inning. So the Rangers get a couple of 2-out singles by Hamilton and Young. Villanueva spends 32 pitches, but still leads 1-0.
Thanks, Dave. Big crowd on hand. You guys ready to go, huh? Yes, they're happy about that. Maybe they're happy because John Heike of Fox Sports Southwest is with us. Because big happenings before the game. The equipment drive to help revive baseball in the inner cities took place, and fans continue to donate used equipment and new equipment. And the best thing about it, John, Fox Sports Southwest much involved in that.
Absolutely. We're involved with Baseball Foundation and Academy Sports and Outdoors. They've been a great partner with us. They're still opening their stores. You have equipment boxes there to drop off till the end of the month. But today we're able to raise about $2,500 each for the city boys and girls clubs in the cities of Arlington and Dallas. And tomorrow, Fund for Major League Baseball was in town today too. And the city of Ferris got a $100,000 grant from the Major League Baseball's Tomorrow Fund to help refurbish stadiums in Ferris. What a great gesture.
That is awesome. And of course, the baseball equipment drive continues at all Academy Sports and Outdoors around the Metroplex. Great job considering the heckler right above us. Excellent job, John. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Dave, what?
Don't mess with Jim.
Absolutely not. Aaron Hill pops up to Moreland to begin the second inning. Brings up Travis Snyder.
Guy must not know who Jim is.
Well, he should now.
He does now.
Travis Snyder. First time the Rangers saw him, late April, really struggling. So much so that he was sent down to revamp his swing, and he's come back up now 15 games from AAA Las Vegas and had some very solid results, hitting .313 with better than a run batted in per game. 2 homers and 17 runs batted in since he came up on the 4th of July, and he leads the majors in runs batted in that span.
That's pitch Matt needs to utilize against left-hand hitters. There's 3 left-hand hitters in the lineup for Toronto: Thames, Lind, and Snyder. 2 of them have doubled on fastballs in. You mentioned that left-handers are hitting 55 points higher than right-hand hitters against Matt. And that breaking ball, hard slider away, can be a good pitch. I don't see any reason why he can't use his changeup effectively against lefties. There's a good slider for a strike, maybe a cutter. High strike.
And his 2-2 fastball just outside and runs the count full. Third full count already for Blue Jay batters. But gets him swinging. That's already 3 strikeouts for Harrison.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Just change speeds like that. Followed up a 94-mile-an-hour fastball with about an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. And had Snyder looking fastball and looking bad on that changeup.
So he has struck out 3 of the top Blue Jay hitters already. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Snyder all swinging. And here is Rajai Davis, the former Oakland A. Over for 2 minor league pitchers in the offseason.
Utilizing that off-speed pitch very well.
And working on 5 days rest since his Sunday 3-1 win in Seattle. Davis takes the fastball strike, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, showed him the changeup on the first pitch. And then he wasn't ready for the fastball on the second pitch, on the third pitch.
One hopper, Ian Kinsler. A 1-2-3 top of the second inning for Matt Harrison. Murphy, Torrealba, and the return of Chris Davis coming up. Online experience for fans. Log on to take part in the most interactive forum during Rangers games. Stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds. Plus, you can even share your thoughts with the game broadcast. Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. David Murphy leads off the Rangers second, batting .251. 5 homers and 20 driven in. Murphy pinch hitting in the 8th inning last night against Frank Francisco, who struck out the side in his return to Texas. And for David, that snapped a 6-game hitting streak, during which he was 9 for 23 extra base hits. Some signs that David is about to have another typical strong second half. And he sends that one out into right center field, but Davis runs it down for the out. So one gone, bottom of the second. And Yorvi Torrealba, who has seen more of Villanueva than any other Ranger batter, and that's not a whole lot. He's 2 for 9 against him, but by far that's the most at bats any Rangers had against Villanueva. And the 2 hits are a double and a homer with 3 runs batted in. Mike Napoli's had a lot of success, especially lately, catching Matt Harrison, but so has Torrealba of late. And a little hitting advantage, which Ron Washington hopes will pay off. Harrison's ERA with Torrealba in their last 7 starts together is .287. And part of this Ranger rotation, which has been spot on now for weeks. Lifted high toward the right field corner. Thames has out number 2. And that brings up Chris Davis, who was pulled from the game last night in the Round Rock Express Omaha matchup, as soon as word came out that Adrian Beltre had been pulled from the game here. And again, after an MRI today, diagnosis for Adrian is a grade 1 strain of his left hamstring, expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. So Davis comes up, and he and Michael Young will handle third base duties while Beltre is on the mend. He's simply overwhelmed PCL pitching this year, AAA Round Rock. Nothing else to prove at the AAA level for Chris, and now one more chance to come up and try and translate that to American League pitching.
Yeah, the numbers that Chris has at AAA would be numbers that if he had played every day at AAA would still look tremendous. 24 home runs and 66 RBIs. But he doesn't even have 200 at bats at AAA. He's only played 48 games to get 24 home runs and 66 RBIs.
Well hit, left center field, right in front of the track. Snyder runs it down. But Davis got a pretty good piece of that Carlos Villanueva pitch. It's a 1-2-3 Ranger second. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Dave Barnett, Tom Grieve. And a 1-0 Toronto lead as the Blue Jays will begin the third with their number 9 hitting catcher, the rookie J.P. Arancibia, who was their offense last night in their 12-2 loss. 2 of their 3 base hits, and they were both home runs, his 13th and 14th of the year. Now leads all American League catchers in homers. Third with 41 runs batted in. And he sends that one high to left field. Murphy jogs back.
And the thing that kept that from being a home run was that it wasn't a fastball. That was a changeup. And he was just far in front of it enough to where he hit it off the end of the bat.
Let's check in again with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Ted. We have Manny Diaz, the new defensive coordinator for the Texas Longhorns, on hand tonight. And Manny, you were telling me you're a big baseball fan, grew up in Florida, watched the Astros, and a big fan of Nolan Ryan, correct?
Yeah, we had no baseball team when I was growing up in Florida, and I think I might have been 6 years old, and for my birthday, someone gave me a star. And Nolan Ryan was, he was a legend at that time. So it's still, for me, sitting right across the yard from him it's quite an honor for me.
Now let's talk about defensive coordinating the Texas Longhorns. A lot of people may not know your style of coaching. What type of defense will you put out there?
Well, hopefully one that doesn't give a lot of points, because we're really focused on what it takes to win football games. We want to be aggressive. We want to try and make things happen, but at the same time, we want to be sound and smart as well. So at this point, with Texas, the year they came off of last year, our number one goal is to find a way to win. So whatever it takes, whatever we have to do to find a way to hold the other team to one fewer point than we score, that's our motive and that's our mission.
Did a great job last year at Mississippi State. And real quick, guys, something interesting about Coach Diaz, you started at a network as a production assistant, then got inspired by listening to a head coach talk about football, and you said, "Hey, I want to be a coach."
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. It's not your normal story, but I always had this bug for wanting to get into coaching, and it just sort of, that was the push I needed, and it just sort of happened. So, good stuff.
All right, there we go, Dave.
All right, the single by Escobar, followed by the 4-6-3 double play for Eric Fames. Moreland, Kinsler, and Andrews in the Ranger third. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rangers game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Matt Harrison needing just 6 pitches in the top half of the third, and now Moreland, Kinsler, and Andrews against Villanueva in the bottom of the third. Rangers got a couple of 2-out first-inning singles by Hamilton and Young. Cruz ended that inning with a fielder's choice, 3 fly ball outs in a 1-2-3 11-pitch second inning for Villanueva.
Yeah, Villanueva doesn't give up a lot of home runs. He's only given up 5. But the Rangers have hit a lot of balls in the air, and they've hit several of them pretty well. Murphy had a hard line drive to right. So did Elvis. And Chris Young hit one about 380 feet to left center. Chris Davis hit one about 385 feet to left center field. So I think if the fly balls continue, sooner or later, one of them's going to go far enough to be a souvenir.
Big jet stream blowing in tonight. Last Sunday, of course, Mitch Moreland, a 3-run home run against Blake Bevan, making winner of Matt Harrison. Bevan locked up in a scoreless duel in the 6th inning with Josh Beckett at Fenway Park tonight, as that one dribbles foul. They are matching 5-hit shutouts into the 6th inning. Moreland with 12 home runs on the year, and there have been some doozies. Our Ford leaderboard, most homers over 400 feet in the AL this season. Cruz leading the way with 16, and Moreland, 11 of his 12 have traveled at least 400.
He doesn't hit any cheap ones. He needs a couple bloopers to fall in the front row.
That is the first strikeout of the day for Villanueva. Adrian Beltre with the left hamstring strain last night as he was heading into third base. Given an MRI this morning, and turns out what you will see is a grade 1 strain of the left hamstring after this double by Young. And Tom, I know you and I, probably a lot of people watching, were wondering how long the recovery on that would be, and I think probably most people hear 2 to 3 weeks and take that as a really good news, because a lot of times that hamstring is 4 to 6 weeks, even longer.
Yeah, I hope it is 2 to 3 weeks. You could tell the way he went into third base, it was going to be a DL.
Kinsler crushes this ball off the top of the wall. And into second base with a 1-out double. Little bit higher, just a couple of feet higher. This is a tie ball game.
Yeah, hard hit line drive. And the Rangers haven't seen a lot of Villanueva. They've been through the lineup once. Virtually every hitter has seen every pitch he's got. There hasn't been a lot of balls put in play early in the count. And he mixes his pitches up. Fastball, changeup, slider, slow curveball. They've all seen him. So let's see what happens second and third time through the lineup.
Ian Kinsler safe at second, safe and secure New York life. Elvis Andrus now, who flied to right on a 3-2 pitch in the first. Good chance here to break out of what's now a 3 for 21. 3 homers, 34 runs batted in for Andrus. And the first pitch strike from Villanueva. His 50th pitch of the day, 33 strikes. He's gone to a lot of deep counts, especially in the 32 pitch first inning, but has not walked anybody. Almost all his outs have been recorded in the air. One ground ball, that was the Cruz fielder's choice to end the first.
Well, one thing that Aaron Sebia is going to do tonight is he's going to get a workout, because a lot of the balls Villanueva throws down low bounce, whether it's changeups, curveballs, and already in the game he's blocked a number of balls in the dirt and done a nice job of it too.
Villanueva has been going deep in games, 6 innings or more in 7 straight starts, 5 straight quality starts until he lost 7-2 to the Yankees 6 days ago. A 4-run 4th inning did him in. So the Yankees, second time through the order, had some things figured out in that game. Since John Farrell installed him in the rotation, only Ricky Romero has a better earned run average for them, and not by much. Kinsler's presence at second slowing the game down quite a bit now for Villanueva.
Well, he saw what happened last night with the Rangers pounding out 12 runs, so he's making sure he's concentrating to these hitters.
Chopper handled barely by Encarnacion at third, and just in time to get the out by half a step. 2 outs now, and up to Josh Hamilton.
That ball gave him a pretty good challenge, the hop that it took. Dave, have a birthday wish to pass on. Virginia Young is 80 years old today. And also, sadly, some condolences. Susan Wood, who works in graphics for us, lost her dad, Al Gardner, on July 19th. And Vic Sosa, one of our cameramen, lost his dad yesterday. So our condolences to Susan and Vic and their families. And also to the family of Thurman Jasper, great fan of the Rangers, passed away recently. He was 97 years old.
Hamilton rips the first pitch into the gap, right center field. And the Rangers tie the game at 1, and it is a triple for Josh Hamilton. Josh 2 for 2, 55th run batted in. First pitch he sees, second at bat.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pitch too, just like the first pitch. The first pitch that he saw, that he drove into right field for a base hit, was a good curveball down. That pitch was tailing away on the outside corner and low, and you never know it by the way that ball was hit. It was drilled into right center field.
Now Michael Young, who singled his first time up. It was fun to watch Josh Hamilton with all the Jets open. And as soon as he saw how deep that got into the deepest part of the park, he was definitely going for 3.
And Davis was playing him over in left center field. And Josh really, to the outfield, is a straightaway hitter. They may play him to pull on the ground in the infield, but in the outfield, you'd have to play him pretty much straight away. And Davis had him played around in left center. It's not unusual to see that kind of a formation in the defense where the infield is playing a hitter to pull and the outfielder is playing him straight away, or maybe even in some cases slightly the opposite way.
2-1 to Michael Young, hoping for his 6th consecutive hit. And his 67th run batted in. Plugged into the cleanup spot while Beltre is out. Young, number 8 in the American League in runs batted in with 66. 4th in batting. And 3 balls and a strike. Young moving up to the 4 spot. Cruz moving up behind him and hitting 5th tonight. In the air, and a diving catch by Travis Snyder ends the Ranger 3rd, saves a run, and keeps the game 1-1. Kinsler doubles, and with 2 outs, Hamilton triples him home. Of selecting the 20 games you want and choose from 10 locations starting at only $100 per plan. The Fans Choice Plan. Now available through August 8th only. So visit TexasRangers.com today. 4th inning in a 1-1 game now. Matt Harrison will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Blue Jays, Bautista Lind and Encarnacion. And not sure why the delay, not a very long delay, but now we're ready to go. And here is Bautista, who struck out swinging in the 1st inning, with Eric Thames at second base after a double.
Dave, we have a special group here tonight from Brian with Ramon Alvarez. Wave, everybody, you're on TV. There you go. I could have said, are you having a good time? But that's Jim Knox's line, so I didn't want to do that. Are you having a good time? Yeah. All right. Glad to hear it.
Why are they here? They're auction winners. And 1-2 to Bautista. Gary Blair auction. A&M women's basketball coach. We are happy to have him up here. 2-2 to Bautista.
And Matt pitched him tough the first time up. He tried to get the fastball right in where he did the first time up for a couple of strikes. And you pretty much tell what the game plan is against Bautista. Don't give him something out over the plate.
Finally some contact from Jose, but it's 2-2.
And most of Matt's fastballs today have been 91 to 93. But he's reaching back for a little bit extra right here against Bautista. That one was 95 miles an hour, and Bautista was a little bit late on it.
He's off that one away, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bautista, last 2 years, has walked more than anybody in the league by a wide margin, but he strikes out swinging again. And speaking of Jim Knox, let's hear from him again, Jim.
All right, having a good time over here with Rhett Miller and the old 97s. Rhett Miller sang the national anthem before the game. That's a big kick because you grew up in the Dallas area and you're a big Ranger fan.
I love the Rangers. It was great to watch them all the last year, and to get to sing the anthem was a big honor for sure.
Now, after the game, you guys are over on the lawn, post-game concert. What can fans expect to hear there?
Well, we thought about trying to go quiet, but we're a loud band, so we're going to rock tonight.
All right, give us a little sample there.
Living in a state of Texas, Texas lives in me.
All right, pretty good. Not bad. All right, good seeing you. Get ready. We'll see you after the game. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dave.
They should never go quiet. Should never even joke about that.
Well, he did a great job with the national anthem. And Jim's probably still on. So, hey, Jim, I apologize for using your line. It just seemed appropriate.
Time for you, Tom. Anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Third base umpire Chris Conroy says Lynn checked his swing. It is 2 balls and a strike.
Good call. Check just in time.
Lynn drove in the Toronto run of the first with a double. Rolls this one out to Kinsler. Since that Lynn double, only one Blue Jay has reached. That was Escobar with a single with 1 out in the third, and immediately Thames hit into the 4-6-3 double play. So 2 of the first 4 Blue Jays to bat against Harrison doubled, and Thames coming home on Lynn's 56th run batted in. But the Rangers getting that one back with the Kinsler 1 out double and the 2 out RBI triple by Hamilton. Edwin Encarnacion struck out to end that first inning.
Matt has a good pitch count, and he's had good stuff tonight. Gave up a couple of doubles to the left-hand hitters in the first inning on a couple of fastballs, but he's pitched both of those guys tougher. He got a double play this time from Thames. Threw a slider to Lynn that he hit right off the end of the bat for an easy out. He's had a good changeup today, too.
Reaches for that one, can't get to it. Andrews double pump, still barely gets Encarnacion. A 1-2-3 inning and a 1-1 tie with Cruz set to lead off the Ranger fourth.
Well, of course, Nelson Cruz coming off that career night last night. 4 hits, 8 RBIs. He says after tinkering with his swing a lot of this season, he feels like he's got it just about where he wants it.
When you do good, I think you got it. You lost it. It's part of the game. You got up and downs, and hopefully I continue with these roles, and I don't lose it anymore.
I guess that's kind of a given when you are accounted for 8 RBIs, and he actually accounted for more runs than 25 teams scored last night. I told him that, and he just got a really big smile on his face.
Yeah, what do you say to that? Well, a home run rip on the first pitch and a hard ground ball backhanded nicely by Aaron Hill. And Cruz retired twice so far tonight by Villanueva on grounders. Fielder's choice ended the first. David Murphy flied to center his first time up. Cruz with that night last night exploded into the top 10 in the league in runs batted in, all the way up to the number 9 spot, just ahead of Miguel Cabrera by 1. He's still 4th in homers with 22.
No, those are obviously good numbers, but there really hasn't been an extended time this year where he's gotten hot like he has in the past, for a month at a time. He's had little streaks here and there, but overall he really hasn't gotten hot yet for an extended period of time. No telling what his numbers would be.
He also had a 6 RBI game earlier. So out of his total of 64, 14 of those RBIs in 2 games. Well hit by Murphy, and a base hit into the corner. Base hit number 5 for the Rangers, as it is time for tonight's AT&T trivia question. Tomorrow, Bert Blyleven will become the 5th former Ranger inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Name the other 4. Long overdue honor for Bert Blyleven through a no-hitter September 1977 against the Angels for the Rangers. Wanted to stay a lot longer than turned out he did. He was sent on to Pittsburgh, the Al Oliver trade. He will go into the Hall of Fame tomorrow as a Minnesota Twin who brought him to the majors at age 19, 1970. Of course, continues with that franchise as their version of Tom Grieve. Murphy takes off, and the throw not even close by Aaron Sebia. Stolen base for Murphy.
Well, he had a pretty good jump, and I'm not sure what kind of chance Aaron Sebia had to throw him out. Let's take a look from this angle. Well, he had a shot if he made a good throw. The Rangers have actually hit the ball pretty well today. They've only got 1 run to show for it, but a number of the outs have been hit pretty well.
Murphy stole 4 times in the first 6 games of the year. That's his second steal in the last 62 games. It's him into position to be the go-ahead run here with Torrealba and then Chris Davis. Got a grounder on the left side of the infield, and Encarnacion throws him out for the second out here in the Ranger 4th. And Murphy still at second as Chris Davis now will try and bring him in. Chris flied to deep left his first at bat.
We were talking about Chris Davis earlier. 24 home runs and 66 RBIs in less than 200 at bats. He'd only played in 48 games in AAA. His on base percentage plus slugging percentage is over 1,200. It was pretty remarkable, the numbers he put up, and you can do the math yourself to project that over a full season for what Chris would have done. Hopefully he'll get a chance to stay here and contribute the rest of the year. But, you know, people make a big deal out of the fact that this is his 3rd time up this year, and when will the numbers translate? You have to look back and remember Nelly Cruz. Chris is 25. Nelly Cruz was 28 when he finally got to the big leagues in September, put up big numbers, and got an opportunity to start a season in the big leagues the next year. And what did Nelly do that year in AAA? He hit .342 with 37 home runs and 99 RBIs, and then had a great September for the Rangers, and from then on he's been a solid major league power hitter. But he was 28 when that happened. Some kids break onto the scene when they're 21 or 22. It happens quickly for them. Others takes a while. And with Chris, it's certainly not physical when you can put those numbers up in AAA. But like Matt Harrison had to get over the mental part of the game, you know, the same for Chris. You got to have to take the same confidence into a big league game that he was taking into the minor league games. The ability's there. We've seen it time and again while he's been in the big leagues. Now it's just a matter of being consistent at the big league level. No reason to believe that he can't do that. Still a young developing player.
And at age 22, he had the huge debut second half of the season in 2008.
The other thing about Nelly Cruz, he didn't become a really good big league player on the team that signed him. Not even close. He had changed teams. Teams had lost confidence in him. And the Rangers were the ones that benefited from that, getting him a little bit later on in his minor league career, right when he was ready to develop into the big leaguer he is now.
And there were people with Milwaukee who feared that they were giving up Cruz right when he was about to take off, which absolutely turned out to be a well-founded fear. Davis rips a base hit to right field. Here comes Murphy. The throw by Thames, not in time, and Chris Davis has put the Rangers on top 2-1.
Well, Chris hit the ball hard his first time up to left center field. And that's a nice sign right there. That's a pretty good curveball from Villanueva. It was down and in, and Chris waited for it, put a nice swing on it, and hit that ball hard into right field.
Tom, if you were to crystallize in one swing the growth, the ability to adjust that Chris Davis wants to show now, we saw it right there. Ball 1 to Mitch Moreland.
Well, for Chris, it's the same as it is for any hitter coming up from the minor leagues. You have to learn how to lay off the off-speed pitches out of the strike zone. And you have to learn how to hit the fastball in. And that's the way that pitchers have pitched him. They pounded him in with fastballs and thrown him slow pitches out of the strike zone.
Almost an identical base hit by Moreland. Davis will stop at second. And 3 hard hit base hits off Villanueva here in the 4th inning. Let's look back at Davis arriving at first base. Had a little ankle tweak. The absolute last thing you want to see. First day up because another guy got injured, but maybe why he only took second base on the hard hit ball to right field. Meanwhile, Bruce Walton, Blue Jays pitching coach, in conversation with Villanueva.
We talked about one time through the lineup, the Rangers had some pretty good at bats. Villanueva has a lot of different pitches that he throws, but the Rangers, each at bat, they'd seen all the pitches because he had no quick at bats. And it's been a little bit different the second time through the lineup. There's been a triple, there's been a double, and there's been 3 hard hit singles this inning. And a guy with a .226 opponent's batting average is getting hit a lot harder than that right now by the Rangers.
Strike 1 to Kinsler, who started the second time through the order for Villanueva with a double off the top of the wall in left field. Up now to 74 pitches. AT&T pitch count. And a good curve, and it's 0-2. 2 runs now on 7 hits for the Rangers.
Well, just to finish up on the Nelly Cruz Chris Davis comparison, Dave, when Nelly was 27, he hit .350 in AAA with a bunch of home runs and a bunch of RBIs, then got a look with the Rangers and didn't do very well and had to go back to the minor league. So there's really some pretty good comparisons between Nelly and Chris. And now the hard part for Chris is to make it all work at the big league level. In some way connected to the way he hit the ball in AAA. Nelly figured out how to do it, and Chris is trying to do the same thing.
Chris, before the game, talking about the defensive side of the equation, playing so much third base in Round Rock that he actually feels more comfortable there than at first. He was originally a third baseman, coming up as a kid.
Well, that's one thing that'll work in his favor, to be able to play third, first, and also he's worked in the outfield. So you're not locked into one position to get your chance to play. He's got those 3 chances plus designated hitter. A lot of ways he can get in the lineup.
2-2 to Kinsler. It was just startling to hear that from Chris because he's such a good defensive first baseman. Makes spectacular plays there.
I think what he's saying is he just hasn't played over there as much. He's been playing so much third base. That's where he's comfortable right now.
And Michael Young will handle third until the return of Beltre. 2-2 pitch popped up. And the second baseman, Aaron Hill, makes the catch, but the Rangers take the lead, a run on 3 hits. Chris Davis, the go-ahead run batted in. As we answer our AT&T trivia question for tonight, in honor of Bert Blyleven, who goes into the Hall of Fame tomorrow, 5th former Ranger inducted. The others, Goose Gossage, Fergie, Gaylord Perry, and Nolan Ryan. Mark McLemore, that's a pretty good staff right there. How'd you like to hit against any of them, even today?
I hit against a couple of those guys, and it wasn't fun. Not fun at all, but very good staff there. I think anybody would take that staff today.
Bert Blyleven will join that group going in as a Minnesota Twin in Cooperstown tomorrow. Matt Harrison works to Hill, Snyder, and Davis here in the 5th inning. Blue Jays got their run in the first on a pair of doubles by Eric Thames and Adam Lind, and Matt Harrison shutting it down since then. This high pop up as Josh Hamilton drifting over, and Hill is 0 for 2. Mac, let's look back in the first inning. Escobar reaching on an error by Elvis, but then attempting to steal second base. Here's what happened.
Well, Elvis is going after the ball, and he ends up blocking Escobar's path to second base and not allowing him to get to second base and put the tag on him. Now, I really don't think Elvis did that intentionally. There used to be guys that would do that intentionally, especially if a guy went in head first, because you don't have to worry about spikes. You've got his hand coming into you, so if anybody was going to get hurt, it was going to be that runner. Tag, you remember this guy, Bobby Grich used to do that. He was one of the best at it and actually taught me how to drop a knee at second base.
He probably taught Doug DeSense's too, because
he did.
Doug would do it at third.
Absolutely.
And as a base runner at third, I'm trying to think. I don't think you ever go back feet first to third, do you? When the catcher throws down there?
Not at all. You're always going back head first. Doug was very good at it, and both of those guys were teammates, so they taught me how to do that. Ken Caminetti was another guy at third base that would drop a knee.
So that's a planned play. Pick off attempt at third, and you're going to try to block him.
Absolutely. You're going to come back hands first. You're never going to come back on a pickoff attempt feet first. So
did you ever have a guy slide in head first? You blocked him. He's out. He got up and wanted to fight you?
No, that never happened. I've seen it happen, but it never happened to me, fortunately.
They didn't want to mess with you.
Who would ever want to fight Mark McLemore?
Oh, I had a couple of guys. There were a couple of them. They were pitchers, though, but not position players.
Well, it sounds like there's a story there, too, there.
Oh, there were a couple of bench clearing brawls that I might have been involved in with a couple of pitchers.
Travis Snyder looks at strike three, and he strikes out for the second time.
Through 4 2/3, Matt's at the top of his game. He has given up a run, but since that time, there's only been a single to right field by Escobar, and a lot of good pitches. He's using his fastball really well. He's using his changeup really well, and he's throwing a lot of quality pitches.
I think the best thing about it is you don't know what he's going to throw, because he's throwing them for strikes as well. So he's not relying on one pitch that he can throw for a strike. He's throwing 2 or 3 of them for strikes right now.
Sure. That makes it tough on the hitter.
Davis grounded to second his first time up. Well, the Rangers allowing 3 hits yesterday, 2 hits the day before to the Angels. 1 run, 3 hits so far. All Harrison has allowed. 3 hits or less consecutive games. It's happened now 11 times in Ranger franchise history. It happened last June, and that was the first time since 1996. It's never happened 3 straight games. But Mac, the stretch of starting pitching just continues, and it seems as if each starter is some way or another going to better the guy that went before him. It's at that level.
Well, it's a competition, and the guys have acknowledged that. They want to go out there and do better than the last guy. And I really think CJ and Colby, you knew what was going to be expected of them, and they knew it, and they're giving that to us right now. But I think the 3 question marks obviously coming out of spring training with Matt Harrison, Derek Holland, and Alexi Ogando. And each one of those guys is really starting to come into their own. I think Derek still has a little bit to go, but I think any time that you're going to win, you're going to have somebody come out of nowhere and do something unexpected. And I think that guy for the Rangers has been Alexi Ogando.
Well, here's a 1-2-3 inning. Back-to-back strikeouts looking. Snyder and Rajai Davis. 7 in a row. 12 out of 13 retired by Matt Harrison. Book off for Boys in the Hall. Personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. This week's episode features Brooks Robinson. Boys in the Hall Sundays, presented by Subway, where winners eat. And in the Ranger 5th inning, Andrews, Hamilton, and Young against Carlos Villanueva at 79 pitches, 50 strikes, 29 balls. Through 4, 2 runs on 7 hits, and the second time through the order, he has given up some shots. Elvis tonight 0 for 2. Was fly to right and grounded to third. Angels have lost tonight 3-2 Baltimore over LA. And Seattle looking to end their 13-game losing streak, leading at Boston 1-0, bottom of the 7th inning. Hard hit ball, diving stop. Encarnacion throws him out off of one knee. Very Mark McLemore like there by Encarnacion.
That was not bad.
That was a good play. There have been 7 hits for the Rangers. There's probably been 7 balls that were hit well enough to be hits that have turned into outs. Encarnacion, Matt playing in, take away the bunt, still made a nice play on a hard smash.
That's a tough play. That's all reaction time there. Didn't have a chance to move his feet. That ball got there to him in a hurry and made a great play on it. And that's what you have to do when you're playing third base. You're pretty much giving up your body.
Josh Hamilton, 2 for 2, a single in the first, an RBI triple in the third to score Kinsler and tie the game at 1. I want to ask you about the shift that Hamilton saw himself up against last night. As that one is drilled off the glove of Hill, and it's a 3 for 3 night for Josh.
That one was just too hot to handle.
He almost lost a glove there.
Both picked him up and drove him into left field, right field. Well, Josh has had 3 ropes in this game. Trying to get him out with off-speed pitches, but it's not going real well.
Mac, last night, John Farrell put the third baseman, Bautista, in short right field. Have you ever seen that particular move in an overshift like that for the third baseman to get out there?
Not really the third baseman going over there. I've been involved in shifts like that where I was the guy out there in short right field. Third baseman would go to short, and the shortstop would move over to the second base spot.
And you were second baseman at short right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We did Barry Bonds that way.
You know, the thing is, Farrell might be kicking himself because if they had the guy out in right field for that ball, he probably would have been able to make the play on it.
He was out, for sure.
And maybe even the first time up. I can't remember exactly how much he pulled the ball the first time up. Maybe he pulled a little more than he could have handled. But I think he could have made the play on that one.
Yeah, there were a few guys we played that way. Ken Herbeck.
Yeah.
We played that shift with Ken Phelps.
Ken Phelps.
Yeah. So there were a few guys back in the day that we would do that shift on.
Would you expect more teams, or are you surprised more teams don't use it against Josh?
No, it really depends on how you're going to pitch it. That's what it's going to depend on. If you're going to throw him off-speed pitches, then you may want to do it, or you may not. If you're going to come in with him, you may want to do it.
This one is well hit, but in the area was Snyder. He just backs up a little bit, and another hard hit out. Now, this is what we're talking about. That is out at short right, the third baseman, Jose Bautista.
Yeah, that would have been an out if Bautista was there today on that last hit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some teams that will do it, and like I said, it depends on how you plan to pitch that particular hitter.
It looks like their plan is to throw Josh a lot of off-speed pitches.
I'm sure they're trying to stay down and away with him, but he's still getting out there and hooking it.
Yeah. Yeah, the triple he hit was a pretty good pitch, really, down and away.
So here's Nelly Cruz, 0 for 2 tonight. How well equipped do you think this Ranger team is right now to handle the absence, hopefully just 2 or 3 weeks, of Beltre? As Hamilton takes off, the throw by Arancibia off his knees, no chance. Beltre going great, as we'll see again the stolen base here.
Not an easy ball for Arancibia. The ball stayed up and in. He tried to throw it quickly from his knees. Not sure Villanueva's giving him a whole lot of help.
No, he's pretty slow to the plate, and Josh got a great jump, and really that's where you steal it off of. You steal the base off the pitcher, not necessarily the catcher. But to answer your question, Dave, I really think it all depends on what Chris Davis can do at third base. Michael Young, I'm sure, is going to get a lot of time there, but whoever comes in that lineup has to do something.
That's just foul.
I'll say.
Yeah, you can't be just a guy that's in the lineup. You've got to be able to produce and do something. Some other guys are going to have to step up, obviously, but you can't ask too much of too many guys. You just got to have somebody that can get in there and still, create some type of offensive threat. I think Michael Young is going to be able to handle third base very well.
Boy, if that ball was foul, it was fouled by an inch.
I think it was fair by an inch.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a tough call, though.
The Rangers are a team that is equipped to handle those kind of injuries because they've got a top guy coming up from the minor leagues in Chris. They could play Michael there and put David Murphy in the outfield. Certainly Murphy has held his own and more when he's gotten a chance to play every day. So you hate to see Beltre go down. He's such an integral part of this ball club. But part of a good team is to have the depth to overcome injuries in a big, long 162-game season.
Out in front, off speed, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, that depth is either going to make you or break you. Nice changeup of Villanueva, getting it down and in, and Nelly, and that's really the only place he can throw it where it doesn't get hit hard somewhere.
Yeah, he's hanging in there in a 2-1 game, but if all you watched were the at-bats and how hard the balls have been hit, you wouldn't think it was a 2-1 game.
Everything the last couple innings just about has been a rocket. Cruz works the full count. There are not very many teams that can match depth with the Rangers, not only at the major league level, but the ability to bring up people from the minors. Andy Chavez, perfect example.
Yeah, all you have to do is look at the lineup tonight. Beltre's out, Davis is in, and Napoli and Andy Chavez hitting .330 around the bench.
Right, the depth is going to make can make you or break you, one or the other. And fortunately, the Rangers have that depth. You've got to have guys that can come off the bench and really be everyday players on other ball clubs.
Yeah, that's true, because you might want him to be an everyday player for you when they have an injury.
Right.
Well, it definitely describes Chavez and Napoli. 3-2 pitch to Cruz. Well hit, carrying deep, left center field. One hop off the wall. Here comes Hamilton. Nelson Cruz drives in another one, and it's 3-1 Rangers.
Mac, you called that one. You mentioned the changeup that he got into Nelly, that he might not fare so well if he threw him an off-speed pitch out over the plate.
And he left it out there.
He did. He left it out there, and Nelly left it out in left center field somewhere. But there's a breaking ball, down and away, off-speed pitch. Nelly gets his arms extended, and boy, how strong is Nelly? Drives that thing 390 feet to left center field.
He did not think he was going to hit the warning track, but that's the kind of carry that he's got. That ball almost got out of here.
David Murphy hits a rope to center, and Davis comes in, makes the diving catch.
Well, it's amazing that there's only 3 runs scored in this game.
Atom balls.
Villanueva very fortunate only to give up 1 run in that 5th inning. Mac, a pleasure as always.
Thank you guys, anytime.
Part of a big group, and they honored you guys as well.
They did. We are Metroplex Concerns of Police Survivors, and we are here to support our families that have lost an officer killed in the line of duty. We provide the resources to help them go on with their lives, and we are always there for them. We serve 38 counties within the Metroplex area, and we are also deal with helping the communities know more about the law enforcement profession and victimization issues for our survivors.
There we go. Unfortunately, a home run ball right there. Keep up the good work. Appreciate the time. Dave?
Yep, J.P. Arancibia does it again. His 3rd solo home run of this series. And it is a 1-run game at 3-2.
Well, this is not bad. Doesn't look like a bad pitch. Ball's down and in. Not even a strike. And that's pretty much been the case for Matt tonight. The pitch to Thames, the pitch to Lind, the 2 doubles in the 1st inning were both fastballs in. Good pitches that were hit. And that pitch wasn't even a strike. So in many cases, you have to tip your hat to the hitters. And the Blue Jay team can hit. Coming into the game last night, they'd only scored 13 runs fewer than the Rangers. You know, it's kind of a credit to how well Kobe Lewis pitched in last night's game and how well Matt's pitching tonight that the Rangers starting pitchers have been able to hold their offense down pretty well.
Matt had retired 7 straight and 12 of the last 13 Blue Jay batters. And now has allowed only 4 base hits, but 3 of them extra base hits. 381 feet for Arancibia's 15th home run. Their other run of the 1st on a pair of doubles by Thames and Lind. And Escobar, the only base hit since then, a single in the 3rd, immediately followed by a double play. Hard ground ball past the diving Chris Davis. And into the corner it goes, and Escobar has a 2-hit game. He follows up the home run with a double.
He's out in front of a changeup, but the changeup stayed high, so he was able to get the bat on it. Not a hard hit ball, but Chris playing off the line didn't have time to get to it. Suzette and Richard Schreiber are here tonight. They're here with their grandson Nolan. He had his 4th birthday yesterday. You may recognize the name. Suzette frequently sends us up goodies, and I think that grandson might have been named after Nolan Ryan from Suzette's Bakery in Windthorst, Texas. Thank you very much, Suzette. Enjoy the game.
I wonder how many, literally thousands of kids have been named Nolan or Ryan.
Well, you could go either way because he's got 2 names to choose from. But back when he was pitching here, time and time again, you saw kids that were named either Nolan or Ryan.
Fames sends one foul and out of play. He had scored the only run allowed by Harrison before Aaron Sebia stepped up to lead off this 6th inning, and now Escobar representing the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Eric Thames, 7th round draft pick, 2008 out of Pepperdine. Moved up 32 rounds as the Yankees failed to sign him after picking him in the 39th round in the previous year, 2007.
Yeah, Thames played his way through the minor leagues quickly. Last year, he had 27 home runs, knocked in 104 runs in Double-A. Well, he's a college kid, drafted fairly high in the draft, who paid dividends quickly.
Hard hit ball fair over Mitch Moreland into the corner. 3 straight extra base hits by the Blue Jays here in the 6th, and they have tied it up. And this is going to be a triple for Eric Thames. It's 3-3. So the 3rd time through the order, the Blue Jays are hitting some shots off Matt Harrison the way the Rangers have off of Carlos Villanueva.
Yeah, the problem is when the Blue Jays hit a ball hard, it's an extra base hit. They're finding a hole. The Rangers have had 9 hits and probably 9 other balls hit hard. They've twice had innings end on diving plays by the outfielders with men in scoring position. So they've had great opportunities, but they only have 3 runs. And the Blue Jays have only had 6 hits, but they're making the most out of their hits.
So Mike Maddox out on the mound, and Tommy Hunter gets up in the Ranger bullpen.
Boy, the fifth inning ended with 2 strikeouts, Snyder and Rajai Davis. And Matt was at the top of his game, had no walks, 6 strikeouts, and only 1 run through 5. Right off the bat in the 6th inning. You're going to have to pitch out of a jam right here.
Jose Bautista, not the man you would want to see here with a go-ahead run 90 feet away. He has struck out twice, though, both swinging. Looking for his first hit of the series, 0 for 2 last night with a walk. And that's the pitch he struck out on. The Rangers bring the infield in here with nobody out in a 3-3 game. Bautista leading the majors in 5 offensive categories, including homers. And again lays off that same pitch, and it's 2-0. Completely transformed himself as a hitter beginning September of the 09 season. Last year, 54 home runs. This year so far, 31. Breaks his bat, but gets a base hit out into right field. And Eric Thames comes home to give the Blue Jays the lead at 4-3.
Yeah, the first 4 hitters of the 6th inning just hit for the cycle. A good pitch from Matt. Looked like a changeup away. But again, the changeup stayed up. not down. And even though he didn't hit it very well, he was able to get the bat on it anyway and loop that ball into right field.
Cruz deking Fames, but to no avail. Aaron Sebia's homer followed by the double by Escobar. The RBI triple by Fames. The RBI single here by Bautista. Drives in his 69th run. Brings up Adam Lind.
Well, Lind hit into a double. No, he didn't. Lind grounded out to second his last time up. Matt does have a double play grounder in this game. It gives him 21 on the season. That's second most double plays induced in baseball. And so that's worked to his advantage this year. The other thing that's worked to his advantage, very tough to run on. They've only attempted 4 steals on him, and their base runners are 1 out of 4, including Escobar, who was thrown out today.
Tailor-made right here. Kinsler, Andrus, Moreland, 4-6-3.
It's been a big part of Matt's success, the ability to induce double play grounders. That's the 22nd that he's had this season, 2 in the game. And that was kind of a big play to shut down the momentum and keep it a 1-run game, keep this inning from getting away from him.
Rangers have turned 2-4-6-3 tonight. Fames in the 3rd, Lind here in the 6th, and here is Encarnacion, who was struck out and grounded to short.
Well, Matt is so hard to run on that opponents have only tried to steal against him 4 times.
And see now if he can pull himself back together after giving up 3 quick runs. And this should do it as Cruz drifts back in front of the track. Blue Jays had 3 hits through 5, 4 hits, 3 runs in the 6th inning to take the lead. And dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Samara Hainsey from Grand Prairie. If the Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Samara Hainsey from Grand Prairie will win $25,000. You can register at a participating Sonic restaurant. Torrealba, Davis, and Moreland, 7, 8, 9 hitters to face Carlos Villanueva in the 6th inning. Villanueva very fortunate to have only given up 1 run in the 5th, as the outs were a sharp 1 hopper to 3rd off the bat of Andrus, a liner to left off the bat of Young, and a line drive to center by David Murphy, with a diving catch by Davis out there. In between, a single and a steal by Hamilton and an RBI double by Nelson Cruz, which put the Rangers up 3-1 briefly, now coming from behind.
I've seen games where the ball's been hit a lot less than this, and there's been 8 or 9 runs after 5 innings. Rangers have hit the ball hard enough to have 3 times as many runs in this game.
Hard shot there. Hill with the scoop at first by Lind, and there's another one.
It's unbelievable. That ball wasn't hit all that well, but it was hit toward the middle of the field. And Hill made a nice play to get to it. He bounces the throw to first base, but Lind is able to make the play at first base and keep his foot on the bag. Another play by defensive play by Toronto that helps out Villanueva.
This has not been a particularly good defensive year for Aaron Hill, but he turns in a nice one there, and Torrealba is now 0 for 3.
A little bit of luck by the play with Lind.
Chris Davis singled in a run his last time up, and it was a go-ahead run in the 4th. It made it 2-1 Texas. First time up, fly to left. Villanueva about to throw his 98th pitch. 32 of those came in the 1st inning, and the Rangers couldn't get a run out of that inning. Got a couple of 2-out singles by Hamilton and Cruz. Villanueva had 3 batters go to a full count, but left 2 men on. Davis takes that one a little bit high, 2-2. And his 100th pitch of the night. Villanueva has thrown as many as 110. And that was just a couple of starts ago. 27-year-old out of Santiago in the Dominican Republic, trying to improve his record to 6-2 tonight.
Yeah, if he gets out of this inning with a lead, he can go thank his lucky stars for the 4-3 score in this game.
Well, he really can. The atom balls and the plays turned in by his defense. Always bring a glove, right, Ted?
Taking care of Daddy's glove right there.
Double-barreled action now in the Blue Jay bullpen. Right-hander Octavio Dotel and Mark Zepchinski, the left-hander. Rangers have out-hit Toronto tonight 9-7. But trailing 4-3. And Davis reaches down, but sends that one high in the air to Davis. 2 outs in the Rangers' 6th as we check tonight's Coors Light freeze can. And we focus on the Blue Jay defense behind Villanueva. Michael Young victimized by the diving catch by Snyder to end the 3rd. And Encarnacion robbing Elvis Andrus in the 5th inning.
And Rajai Davis had a diving play, and those are plays that were nice defensive plays. There's also been a number of balls that were hit hard that were easy defensive plays because they were hit right at somebody.
Mitch Moreland tonight, a strikeout and a base hit. He has a hit now in his last 5 straight games. No multi-hit games in that stretch, but a couple of chances the rest of the night. And there he goes, a 2-hit night for Moreland. A hard-hit ground ball keeps the 6th inning alive for Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, he's going to finally take him out right here. You just get the feeling one more pitch, you got about a 50-50 chance of getting an out or a home run. He's going to be upset that he's taken out. He ought to shake his hand and thank him.
So Carlos Villanueva at his 11th start goes 105 pitches, throws 66 strikes. And with the right-handed hitting Kinsler coming up, the right-handed reliever Octavio Dotel makes his way in the 6th inning, and a way to see the best young athletes in Texas. The basketball game is Monday at 7:30, and the football game is Tuesday at 7:30, both here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. So join us online for great high school all-star action Monday and Tuesday only on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Carlos Villanueva gone after 5 2/3 innings, and he gives way with our Verizon call to the bullpen to 37-year-old veteran Octavio Dotel.
Well, Dotel pitched in last night's ball game. He's holding opponents to a 189 average. 189 opponents average, but a 3.72 ERA. How would you say that could happen? He's given up 5 home runs in 29 innings. That's probably got a little bit to do with it.
He worked a 1-2-3 7th last night, which included a fly to center by Ian Kinsler. And Ian steps up here. 1 for 3 with a double, and he scored the first Ranger run back in the 3rd. Otherwise, a couple of pop-ups. Moreland at first after his 2-out single. And another pop up, which will come back out of play. Right-handed batters against Dotel this year, hitting just 162, 11 out of 68. This is a guy who has lived out of his suitcase. Last year alone, pitched for the Pirates, Dodgers, and Rockies. The year before, the White Sox. 15 in 2 years, and it's 1-2. Dotel was the closer for the Pirates with 21 saves. Went to the Dodgers at the deadline. And Kinsler looks at strike 3. So Dotel leaves Moreland at first base. And we head to the 7th, 4-3 Blue Jays. Ford dealers, check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Good Saturday night crowd. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And frustrating night for Matt Harrison, who was sailing along into the 6th inning, leading 3-1. And then suddenly a leadoff home run by J.P. Arancibia, a double by Escobar, triple by Thames, and a single by Bautista. And the Blue Jays led it 4-3, but he recovered to get a double play off the bat of Lind and Encarnacion to fly out to end that 6th. Hill, Snyder, and Davis now in the 7th. Aaron Hill has popped to first and flied to center. 0 for 5 in the series. 4 for his last 27. And chases that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good changeup. Bat's had a good changeup tonight. He had a couple of hits on his changeup, but both of them were hit toward the end of the bat. Just found holes.
And a strikeout. That is number 7 for Matt Harrison. And let's go to our Fox Sports Southwest studios now. Time for a McDonald's Dollar Drink Game Break. And Travis Snyder was struck out twice. Fouls off the first pitch. Yeah, so the Rangers getting some help from the Orioles. Meaning no matter what happens here, the lead will be no less than 3 games. Last 6 times the Rangers lost. They lost ground in the West, but if that is to be the case tonight, no ground will be surrendered. Looked like the A's might squeak out a win at Yankee Stadium, and they did, 4-3. Rich Harden gets his 2nd win against 1 loss, outdueling A.J. Burnett and Drew Bailey with his 11th save. Fenway Park, Boston batting bottom of the 8th, leading Seattle 3-1. That was a double shutout into the 7th inning, and Mike Karp homered to put Seattle up 1-0. Red Sox answered with 3 in their half of the 7th. That was a matchup between the 2 of the best pitchers to come out of Texas high school programs in well, forever. Blake Bevan out of Irving and Josh Beckett out of Spring. Three and 2 to Snyder. Harrison about to throw pitch number 97. And he went around, and that is a hat trick now for Travis Snyder, his 3rd strikeout.
8 strikeouts for Matt tonight. That ties his season high. He had that his opening start against the Red Sox. Good stuff for Matt tonight. Had the one stretch of 4 straight hits in the 6th inning. But it's been a long stretch of good stuff the whole ball game.
He's handled Rajai Davis both times. A grounder to second, and last time up he was caught looking at a 3-2 pitch.
If you want to compare the quality of pitches thrown for the 2 pitchers tonight, Harrison and Villanueva, Harrison's behind 4-3, but it's a no-brainer to pick the guy with better stuff.
Yeah, a few hard hit balls he's given up. They just happen to string together in the 6th inning. Yoshi Tateyama throwing for the Rangers in the bullpen. And Harrison's 100th pitch, now 1-2. Tommy Hunter was up earlier. Now it's Yoshi. Easy play on the ground. Moreland, though, tries to do it unassisted, and Davis too fast. He beats it out.
Yeah, he's going to beat a lot of guys there, but not Rajai Davis. You have to look at it again to see if Matt was able to get there in time. No, Matt wasn't going to beat Davis either, so Mitch had no choice but to take it himself. And he knows that Davis can run, but he also knew Matt wasn't going to get there in time. And so Davis gets himself an infield hit.
It was easy for Mitch to get there, but to beat Davis, not so easy, and that will do it for Matt Harrison. Yoshinori Tateyama will take over with Davis aboard. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Harrison leading after 101 pitches, having allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. Really deserved better than trailing 4-3 here. 27th, and sign up to be the Whataburger What-A-Fan. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and to meet one of your Texas Rangers at the Whataburger at Camp Wisdom Road near Duncanville Road in Duncanville. It's Wednesday, 11 a.m. to noon. Come out and meet Tommy. Right now, meet Yoshi Tateyama as Tommy Hunter, who was up earlier. Watches Tateyama come in, try and get the 3rd out of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Yoshi's been doing a nice job for the Rangers. Be his 20th game. He's got an ERA under 4. Nice strikeout to walk ratio. He's got almost a strikeout per inning. 20 strikeouts in 21 innings. He's only walked a couple. And a solid opponent's batting average too.
Especially right-handed batters. They're only 184 against him. 9 for 49. First batters are 0 for their last 11. And he draws J.P. Arancibia, who is fly to left. And last time up, led off the 6th inning with his 3rd home run of the series, which was followed by 2 more Toronto runs to put them in front 4-3. Pitch out with nothing on.
Good thing. That would have been a tough pitch out to throw from right there. On a pitch out, the catcher wants the ball about chest high so he can catch it and throw it quickly. You do not want the pitch out down there. That defeats the purpose.
And Arancibia way out in front of that pitch. Yoshi last time out very sharp. 2 scoreless innings Wednesday at Anaheim, matched his career high with 3 strikeouts. And very close at first base. Yama putting that right into Moreland's mitt. He could drop it down, almost picked off Rajai Davis. At Harrison in 101 pitches tonight, 6 2/3 innings. 4 runs, 8 hits, struck out 8, did not walk a batter, and that's the second time in Matt's last 4 starts that he didn't walk anybody. There goes Davis. Torrealba's throw in time.
Good job all the way around. Good job by Tateyama to hold him, and another great throw by Torrealba.
Davis gunning for his 30th steal of the year.
On to the 7th, David Tom. Time for the Ranger fan in the game. It has to be Pat. Him and his buddies drive all the way up from Longview to watch Chris Davis and the Rangers. They've been cheering all game long. I tell you what, they also said they played baseball, high school ball with Chris Davis, so they say they really did. Here's the Antlers. Congratulations, Rangers fan of the game. That's a 14-pointer right there. What do you have to say, Pat?
Well, I love the Rangers. We're here to root on Chris Davis getting called up again. Actually here for my bachelor party, having so much fun. Hey, baby, let's just have our wedding here. Just got.
There we go. Wedding here next week. All right, good luck. Congratulations. There we go, Pat.
All right, so the truth came out. Yeah, they're here to root on Chris Davis, but also there's a little bachelor party. Well, we had a rehearsal dinner here last night, so here's Jason Frazier to work the bottom of the 7th inning. Andrews, Hamilton, and Young. Elvis 0 for 3. Frazier, the 3rd Toronto pitcher of the night. He follows the starter Carlos Villanueva, who went 5 2/3, 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 strikeout, didn't walk anybody, and Octavio Dotel came in to strike out Ian Kinsler, the only batter he faced, to end the 6th. There's not been a walk in this game. Elvis has had some hard hit ground balls, and another one here as Aaron Hill retires him to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Tomorrow night, as the series concludes at 7:05, the first 10,000 kids 13 and under will receive a blue Josh Hamilton jersey, compliments of Dr. Pepper and Albertsons. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Come out and see Josh and Alexio Gondo against Brett Cecil. Gondo trying to improve his record tomorrow night to 11-3. Well, a perfect night for Josh. Single in the 1st, RBI triple in the 3rd, single, stole the base, and scored in the 5th.
Yeah, Frazier, pretty solid reliever. And another solid season for Toronto. All the way around. Been a closer before. Been a setup man. Generally, you can count on him to come in and do a solid job for you.
He is the all-time Blue Jay leader in appearances. This is his 455th. And gets a strike in there at the knees.
Borderline got the call.
Frazier's 44th appearance, top 6 in the American League. Hamilton and then Michael Young, who has a single and 2 tough outs. And that is the story tonight for the Rangers. 3 runs on 10 hits. I don't know how many atom balls, how many hard hit outs, and how many good defensive plays have been turned in by the Blue Jay defense. Long enough for their offense to come alive, long enough to get 3 runs in the 6th to take the lead. Hamilton to the only infielder on the left side, and that is Encarnacion, who retires Josh for the first time tonight. baseman basically playing shortstop there. And now here is Young. He had the single in the first. Robbed by Snyder in left field in the third and lined out to Snyder again in the fifth. 4 for 4 last night. He could be 3 for 3 tonight with a little better luck.
Yeah, and on the one diving play, Hamilton was on third base too.
Yeah, that was right off Josh's RBI triple, which tied the game 1-1 in the third. And then last time up, he lined out after Josh was at second base with a steal. Cruz followed with an RBI double. Then Murphy lined out to Davis in center field. Story of the night. Rangers settling for 3 runs when they've hit the ball a lot like they did last night, putting 12 runs on 13 hits up on the board. And Michael went around on that one, so it's 1-2 as Mark Lowe begins to throw in the Ranger bullpen. In the Toronto eighth, it'll be Aaron Sebia, followed by the top of the order, Escobar and Thames. Hard hit ball again, but into the seats.
Nice play. See if we can see it. Oh, yeah.
Very well done. It's number to 38,357 at Rangers Ballpark tonight.
Guy behind him said, I would have had it. I had my hat. I don't know if he could have caught that in the hat.
Rangers trying to win their 14th in the last 16 games and their 9th straight at home. It's the only 2 losses out of the last 15. The 1-run defeats in Anaheim, 9-8, 1-0, down 1 here. 8 straight home victories, longest since May of 2009. And Frazier strikes out Michael Young at a 1-2-3 7th inning. So on to the 8th, and it's still 4-3 Toronto. Park of the Rangers down 4-3. Tomorrow's Nissan pitching matchup, 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports Southwest. And it'll be Alexio Gondo, so impressive in the 7-0 win Tuesday night in Anaheim, going for his 11th win against 2-4 Brett Cecil. Yoshi Tateyama to J.P. Arancibia, who was at the plate when Rajai Davis was thrown out trying to steal, ending the 7th inning. Tateyama's goal, keep it in the park against this guy who was homered 3 times already in this series. 2 last night were inconsequential. The one tonight led off what became a 3-run Toronto 6th inning as they hit for the cycle. First 4 batters Harrison faced in that inning pulled off that feat. Arancibia, though, thrilling about 50 members of the University of Tennessee DFW Alumni Club who are on hand tonight. JP, first-round pick out of Tennessee in 2007. And he looks at strike 3.
The catcher put his glove out there, and he brought it right back on the outside corner.
So Tateyama 4 strikeouts now among the last 7 outs he has recorded. Here's Yunel Escobar, who's been aboard all 3 times tonight. On an error by Andrews to begin the game. He was then caught stealing. Single in the 3rd. He followed the Arancibia homer with a double in the 6th. Thames then tripled him home, and Bautista singled home Thames. And Yoshi the strike on the inside corner. Nice comeback night for Escobar after going 0 for 4 last night. Ending his streak of 25 straight games on base. Escobar, 28, from Havana. Member of the Cuban junior national team with Brian Pena, the Royals. Defected to Miami, which made him subject to the draft, and the Braves picked him in the 2nd round in 2005. And he looks at strike 3. Tateyama painting here in the 8th inning.
He looked at the same pitch that Arancibia struck out with. I bet you it's the exact same pitch. Might be just a shade lower. And it came back. Bottom of the strike zone. He looked at it all the way, but he watched it go by for strike 3.
Well, that's 5 strikeouts in the 8 outs in the last 2 outings for Yoshi. And here's Thames, who doubled and scored in the 1st. Grounded into a double play in the 3rd and tripled home a run and scored the go-ahead run in the 6th. Time as the year goes on, Tateyama just gets more and more effective, it seems.
Well, he's had a couple of starts against teams that waited on his off-speed pitches, and he's given up some home runs. But for the most part, he's been effective from the time he got here. He's made a lot of good pitches. He's got a good assortment of pitches. He has a sneaky fastball, won't light up a radar gun, but with his changeup and that slow breaking ball he throws, he keeps the hitters off balance, and he's got pretty much pinpoint command of his pitches. Never walks anybody, and he can throw his fastball where he wants to.
Just misses a 3rd straight call, strike 3 there.
Trying to drop the breaking ball on the outside corner. Looked like he came pretty close.
First 2 were on 1-2 pitches.
Didn't quite get there.
Just a piece at 2-2 for Thames. Ranger players really enjoying being around Yoshi too. Enjoy his sense of humor, his dedication to conditioning, veteran know-how. And a pop-up chased out into short left by Elvis Andrus. A 1-2-3 top of the 8th. Cruz, Murphy, and Torrealba in the Ranger 8th. Down a run. In your community, if you'd like to learn more about Chevy Youth Baseball programs, go to youthsportswire.com. Jason Frazier out for the 8th inning, having retired Andrews, Hamilton, and Young in order in the 7th. He's got Cruz to begin the 8th, and a swing and a miss for Nelly, who has an RBI double in 3 trips. 9 runs batted in the series. Frazier trying to get this game to the 9th inning to the Toronto closer, John Roush. who was 7 for 9 at his save opportunities in that job.
The Rangers have 3 left-hand hitters coming up in the next 4, Murphy, Davis, and Moreland. Zepchinski has been throwing. He's really tough. The only lefty they've got in the bullpen. He's really tough on left-hand hitters. We'll see if Frazier finishes out this inning, if he goes to the lefty. Pretty hard to argue with the way Frazier's throwing right now. 4 up, 4 down. Strikeouts to Young and Cruz.
Boy, this challenging Nelly right there, too. Down the middle, got him at 93 miles an hour. So 1 gone. Here is Murphy, who's hit it hard a couple of times. Singled, stole second, and scored in the 4th. And that put the Rangers up 2-1 and lined out to Davis in center field to end the 5th with Cruz at second. One of a number of frustrating outs on hard hit balls for the Rangers all night long. Reaches out. That could be trouble. It's going to stay fair, and it's an infield single for Murphy.
Rangers definitely have a few of those coming after as many balls they've hit hard have been caught. If you roll it right down the line, it's going to stay fair. That line slants back toward the pitcher's mound. Unless you've got a lot of spin on it and it's in the dirt, that's pretty much going to stay fair right there.
So the tying run aboard with 1 out here in the 8th. Yorvi Torrealba 0 for 3. Last time up, robbed on a nice defensive play at second by Aaron Hill. And Yorvi now 1 for his last 15, so due for a base hit. No better time than right here. Murphy with that stolen base in the 4th. His second in 62 games after he had a good flurry of steals at the beginning of the year. And Neftali Feliz alongside Mark Lowe, who had already been up throwing in the 8th.
Yep, depends what the score is to see who's coming in for this game.
Nothing on the pitch out.
Rangers tie it or take the lead. Possibly Feliz. It stays 4-3. Possibly Mark Lowe.
See there in the background, the Angels have lost 3-2 at Baltimore. So Rangers come back and win this one. They will be 4 games up in the West. Seattle also losing again 3-1 at Fenway Park. And the Mariner losing streak now is 14 straight.
I think their pitchers have just gotten demoralized because they're actually on the road trip they're on right now. They're scoring a few runs, not today, but the first 4 games of the road trip, they actually scored some runs. Just didn't get any pitching.
And Torrealba unable to catch up to the Frazier fastball. And tonight they had a great start going for Blake Bevan. It was 0-0 into the 7th. Mike Karp homered off Josh Beckett in the 7th for Seattle, and the Red Sox got 3 in the bottom of the 7th to win it 3-1. Beckett now 9-3 at 2.07 ERA. Bevan 1-2 with a 3.04 ERA. Papelbon saved his 23rd, and there's the Blue Jay closer Roush getting ready, hoping he has a lead to protect in the bottom of the 9th. With 38,357 now being heard. Trying to energize a Ranger 8th inning rally here. Bluffed by Murphy. Check swing foul. And it remains 1-2 to Torrealba. The Rangers winning 13-15 with the 2 one-run losses. And Tom, while we were at Anaheim, we talked about all the things that could have gone one way or another. Maybe breaks evening up after the 12-game winning streak, but the Angels had a ton of things go their way and winning 9-8 and 1-0, and another one-run game here. The Rangers up against maybe things evening up. Murphy running, and a line drive caught by Things will turn into a double play. And boy, there is the night in a nutshell for the Rangers. Fraser ends up facing the minimum 3 in the 8th inning, and Bautista will lead off the Toronto night. Rangers in the 9th inning, down 4-3. First, let's check in with John Rattigan.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. You know, there's nothing like a walk-off, and hopefully we'll be spending the better part of Rangers Live talking about the hero in a Rangers walk-off victory tonight. Even if not, we'll have lots of analysis, lots of post-game reaction, too. Emily Jones will work the clubhouse. We'll hear from Ron Washington. Mark McLemore joins me, and we bring you Rangers Live immediately following the game. Dave, Tom, back upstairs to you guys.
All right, John, we look forward to it. So here is Mark Lowe to work to Bautista, Lind, and Encarnacion in the 9th inning. He follows Matt Harrison's 6 2/3 and Tateyama's inning in the 3rd. Mark worked Sunday most recently, retired the only batter he faced at Seattle. And there for strike 1 to Bautista, who has been held about as in check as you can hope to in the first 2 games of this series. 2 strikeouts and then an RBI single for the go-ahead run in the 6th inning. It's only hit in 5 at-bats so far here in the first 2 games of this 3-game set, and takes it 99 miles an hour a ball, 1-1. Batting for just the 2nd time against Mark Lowe. Harrison in his 6 2/3, 4 runs on 8 hits, struck out 8, didn't walk a batter. There has not been a walk by either staff in this game. Tateyama an inning and a 1/3. Perfect relief with 2 strikeouts. Steady diet at 99-mile-an-hour fastballs here from Lowe, but it's 3-1.
And Matt made a lot of good pitches to Bautista. Fastballs in. Threw him a good slider down and in to strike him out. The only hit he got was a little blooper off the end of the bat on a pretty good changeup.
Well, now we've got a walk. There's the first of the game. Not surprisingly to Bautista. And the last 2 years, that is his 180th walk. That is 20 more than anybody else in the American League. So now he'll look for a double play ball as Adam Lind steps up. That's exactly what Lind delivered last time with Bautista at first. Lind in the first, an RBI double. And he takes outside at 98. This is lifted high and will slice into the seats. And it's 1-1. Rangers turned a couple of double plays tonight behind Matt Harrison. And they have 11 base hits off Carlos Villanueva, Octavio Dotel, and Jason Fraser. but only 3 runs to show for him. Strike at the bottom of the zone there, 1-2.
We've seen that low strike called several times in the game. Once to Josh Hamilton on a pitch just about in the same spot. It looks like a ball, but it catches the bottom of the strike zone on the box tracks. It's not always called a strike, but we've seen it called several times tonight by Tony Randazzo for both teams.
And the 1-2 pitch popped up. Davis drifting over. And again, that one ends up in the seats. Chris Davis in his return to Arlington, replacing Adrian Beltre, placed on the 15-day DL with the strained left hamstring from last night. Chris tonight 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 4th inning, which put the Rangers up at the time 2-1. He will lead off the Ranger ninth. Davis, Moreland, and Kinsler are the scheduled hitters. And John Roush should be ready by now. He was knowing for a couple innings now that it would probably fall to him after some nice setup work by Frazier. And Glenn keeps peppering the foul balls. Oh, very nicely done there, Tom. No glove necessary.
Well, when you got good hands like that, I guess you don't have to worry about it. You don't generally see them thrown back from that angle. That's not a smart thing to do. Too many people can get hit when you throw from that angle. It's one thing tossing them back from the outfield, but not from the upper deck behind home plate.
Why would anybody reject a foul ball? Home run, yeah. That's supposed to be a souvenir. And if climbing the ladder does the job for Mark Lowe, Lynn strikes out, first out of the 9th inning.
Well, Lynn kept swinging hard, and Mark kept throwing it hard. That one right at the top of the strike zone. Finally throws a ball that Lynn can't catch up with, can't foul off.
So Lynn, the Ranger killer, 1 for 4 tonight. And here is Encarnacion 0 for 3, including a strikeout, and 0 for 7 so far in the series. For that, he came in sizzling, hitting almost 400 his last 11 games before tonight. Darren Oliver now throwing the Ranger bullpen. And the low slider just misses for ball 1. Darren last worked Tuesday at Anaheim as he worked the 9th inning of that Rangers 7-0 win for Alexi Ogando. Tomorrow night's starter. Oh, another near miss for Lowe. 2-0.
Well, they're borderline pitches. They can go either way. I guess if you're the pitcher and the hitter, well, definitely the pitcher, you hope to get one of the two.
Encarnacion claimed off waivers by the A's last November. But after doing so, they then declined to tender him a contract offer. So he became a free agent and re-signed with the Jays. just a few days later with an option for next year. Kind of a strange off season. A pop up here, chased down by Kinsler, just barely in foul territory. Encarnacion, the second out of the ninth inning. And that'll bring up Aaron Hill.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened in that situation, Dave. Possibly they tried to sign him. They couldn't agree on a contract, and they didn't want to take any chances on salary arbitration. And when they couldn't sign him, they let him go. Didn't get the deal they wanted. Just guessing.
So ended up right back in the Blue Jays camp. Not much of a series so far for Hill. 0 for 3 last night and again tonight, and he is 4 for his last 28. We sent Ogando tomorrow night for the Rangers. Brett Cecil for the Blue Jays. And in his 2 starts against the Rangers, he's 1-0 with an ERA of 19.29.
Now, one of those games, I'm not sure how many runs it was, but it was something like 7 or 8 runs early in the game. Rangers had a huge lead, and they ended up losing that game in Toronto.
Ground ball through on the right side, and Aaron Hill has his first hit of the series. Bautista to second base.
Well, Darren's warmed up, and this may be a situation that Ron was anticipating, a left-hand hitter with a couple of men on base. I don't think Darren would be warming up if Ron wasn't going to go get him.
So Oliver ready. Barklow faces 4 batters. Walks Bautista, retires Lind and Encarnacion, and then the Hill base hit. So 2 outs, 2 on, the situation that Oliver will inherit. So it's a 1-run game and get it to the bottom of the ninth, where the Rangers hope for some walk-off heroics. Gary's when purchased on TexasRangers.com. Don't miss this Wednesday when the first 30,000 fans will receive a Bert Blyleven card, remembering his Rangers no-hitter and commemorating his induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame tomorrow. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com/specials today. Darren Oliver has faced Travis Snyder once and struck him out, as he comes on for the 38th time this year. Almost an appearance for each of his 40 years.
Snyder's in a limited amount of at-bats, only hitting 147 against left-handed pitching. That was before the game. It's gotten a little bit worse during the game.
Darren has retired the last 7 batters he's faced, and the 1.72 ERA in his last 18 games. And a very nice stretch as he was this time a year ago. So here's Snyder, has struck out all 3 times tonight. 3 of the 8 recorded by Matt Harrison. Blue Jays a run in the first, 3 in the 6th. Rangers single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. All off of their starter, Carlos Villanueva. And a pop-up out into shallow left field. Hamilton over. And it takes only 2 pitches for Oliver to do the job. Blue Jays leave 2. Davis set to lead off the Ranger 9th. Down 1. Ford seats and no blackout dates. And by your Texas Ford dealers, check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Couple of changes here for the bottom of the ninth for Toronto. Corey Patterson takes over for Eric Thames in right field. And at least to begin the ninth inning, it is their lone lefty, Mark Zepchinski, with 2 left-handed hitters, Davis and Moreland, the first 2 scheduled Ranger batters here in the ninth.
You've got Mike Napoli on the bench, so he's a potential pinch hitter.
And in fact, he's
there he is.
Pinch hit for Davis right here. As Roush, their closer, waiting to come on at some later point here in the 9th inning. So Davis 1 for 3 with an RBI in his return for the injured Beltre. And now Mike Napoli against the team that had him for just a couple of days in the offseason. Right after the first pitch. Mike 10 for his last 18. 556 in his last 5 games. 13 home runs. And 0-2. Against Zepchinski, he is 1 for 5 lifetime. Zepchinski, not bad against right-handed hitters, 243, but deadly against lefties, 159. Napoli over the offseason for the Angels with Juan Rivera for Vernon Wells, and then to Texas for Frank Francisco. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With those offensive numbers for Napoli, on the defensive side, he has also been superb. Called on here for his big bat, leading off the 9th, down 1. And he works a full count.
He can work the pitcher. He swung at the first fastball. He swung and missed at the first changeup. But since that point in time, he's laid off a couple of tough pitches. Down out of the strike zone, worked the count to 3-2, trying to get that leadoff hitter on base. A number of guys on the bench who can pinch run if he does get on. $38,357, a lot of them on their feet here. Hoping Napoli can ignite the Ranger 9th. And a leadoff walk. First walk issued by Blue Jay pitching tonight. Yeah, it really looked like Zepchinski wanted no part of throwing Napoli a fastball to hit. Doing a lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of off-speed pitches in the dirt.
Now John Farrell has the Moreland Zepchinski matchup, lefty on lefty. Mitch tonight struck out in the 3rd, singled his next 2 trips.
And Ron is not going to pinch run for Napoli, probably because he doesn't want to take his second catcher out of the game right here. And Napoli runs pretty well for a catcher.
Moreland thinking bunt here. He does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. That's something he's called on to do. Nor did he have one last year in his 47 games. Encarnacion now in on the grass from 3rd. How hard should this be for Mitch Moreland?
Well, you know, I guess you could make the case that for a big league hitter, it shouldn't be hard to sacrifice bunt, but that's not always the case. You've got a tall, lanky left-hander out there with some pretty good stuff, so it's not that easy to bunt against him. And Mitch is not a guy who's had to bunt a lot anyway.
Well, he does the job, and Zepchinski's throw pulls Lind off the bag. 2 men on, nobody out.
That was a good break for the Rangers, and a good job by Mitch, who did get the bunt down. Didn't get it down the first time, but he got it down the second time. Craig Gentry is going to come in and run for Mitch at first base. Zepchinski couldn't field it twice. threw it, and he pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Rangers have a nice start to the 9th inning.
Well, a couple of misplays there by Zepchinski. And the E1 now with Gentry representing the winning run at first base. Napoli at second, the tying run. So Zepchinski faces 2 batters and really makes a potential mess of things for John Roush, who now comes on to face the right-handed top of the order Kinsler. And then Andrews.
If you're scoring at home, that is a sacrifice bunt. And the error allows the batter to reach first base.
So when we come back, tying run in scoring position, winning run at first, nobody out. Kinsler against Roush. Drama at the ballpark, bottom of the ninth. We win, but they have got some issues for John Roush, the tallest player in Major League history at 6'11", on in search of the save here, but he's got Napoli at second, Gentry at first, nobody out, and Ian Kinsler at the plate.
If you coming into this situation, get a save, you earned the save, that's for sure. Blue Jays expecting bunt. First baseman's way in, third baseman's way in before he even begins to throw the pitch.
Kinsler tonight 1 for 4, doubled and scored the first Ranger run back in the third.
No wheel play is on. Spot to bunt it is right at the third baseman.
And he lays it down for Roush. The play is at first. Whoa. Barely. Oh, that was close.
Where Roush was looking. Roush took a look at second base. For what reason, I have no idea. He had no play at second. He takes a little look at second and just barely gets in at first base. That's a close play. Boy, really close.
Inches. Sacrifice 1-4 for Kinsler. And now the Rangers with the tying run 90 feet away. The winning run in scoring position for Elvis Andrews. 0 for 4 tonight. He's flied around, grounded out the last 3 times.
In some cases in this situation, you would have to pitch really carefully to the hitter with second and third, and you're going to pitch carefully. But you got Josh Hamilton up next. Here's the squeeze.
Play at the plate, safe. Out at first, but the Rangers have tied it at 4.
That's a great play by Aaron Sivia. That's a tremendous play. He had the presence of mind, knowing that the runner was going to be safe at the plate, to wheel around and throw to first base. Watch Aaron Sivia. It's a perfectly executed squeeze play, but here's the big play for the Blue Jays right here. When Aaron Sivia turns and throws to first, otherwise it's first and third for Josh and only 1 out.
Now it is Gentry in third, 2 outs, and they will not even begin to think about letting Josh Hamilton win this game, so it'll be down to Michael Young. As Hamilton had already singled in the first, tripled in a run in the third, singled and scored in the fifth.
That was a really interesting and exciting play. You love the squeeze play. Bottom of the 9th inning to tie the game. But then the catcher, young catcher, had the presence of mind to make that play at first base. And if he gets tied up with a play at home, knowing the game's tied, squeeze play, and doesn't get it to first base in time, now it's first and third. Maybe they walk Hamilton, but there's only 1 out with a man on third base. The throw to first to get Elvis at least makes it necessary to get a base hit to win the ball game right here.
Michael last night 4 for 4. Tonight singled his first time up. Robbed on great catch and left by Snyder. The next time lined out to Snyder and left in the fifth, and last time struck out by Frazier. Goes right after the first pitch. And he was almost on it.
Roush went right after him, and Michael went right after Roush with a big swing.
Young with 66 runs batted in, 8th in the league on the year. Chance for one of his biggest here.
Very seldom will you see 3 straight bunts. Moreland, a sacrifice bunt, was safe on the error. Kinsler, a sacrifice bunt, and then Elvis, a squeeze play. 3 back-to-back plays like that.
1 and 2. Boy, and all executed well, too, Tom.
Yeah, very well. All right, tough situation for Michael. Behind in the count, 1 and 2. A battle up there, try to get that base hit and end the game.
Young against Roush, 2 for 5 with a double. Lifted to right field. Patterson backpedaling, can't get it, over his head and off the wall, and the Rangers win it 5-4.
Well, Michael hit that ball a little bit better than Patterson thought he did. Patterson was a defensive replacement in the 9th inning, but he couldn't get back in time to catch the long fly ball by Michael that short hopped the wall in right field. A very interesting comeback for the Rangers. Napoli did a great job coming back from an 0-2 count to work a walk. 3 straight sacrifice bunts, including a squeeze, a strategic intentional walk, and then Michael Young, batting 4th in place of Beltry tonight, bounces it off the wall in right field and wins the game. What a win.
Jim Knox is with Michael.
All right, thank you very much. Michael, congratulations. 2 big hits tonight. The last one was the biggest one. What were you looking for in the situation like that, down 2 strikes?
Nothing, because I was down 2 strikes. I mean, I think I was getting a little big in my first 2 swings. I just tried to shorten up and be as short as I could, see if I can get barreled to something.
Talk about perseverance of this team. You guys are down by a run. You come in, you get the squeeze bunt on, and all of a sudden you get the game-winning hit. It says a lot for this team. Just kept on battling to get the game winner.
That's our style. That's our style of play. I mean, aggressive. Ran the bases aggressively, put on a gutsy call with that squeeze. And at that point, I mean, I knew I was going to hit. I knew they were going to walk Josh right there, and just try to settle in for my bat.
It's early, but a playoff atmosphere. Everybody on their feet for the final at bat. Crowd really pulled you through as well.
Yeah, I mean, we love Saturday night crowd here. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, we got a long way to go still to get to our ultimate goal, but these are the kind of games that can build some momentum. So come back tomorrow ready to play.
All right, Mike, congratulations on the big night. Dave?
All right, Jim, let's look at it again. The only hit in the 2-run bottom of the ninth for the Rangers. Michael Young down to his last strike, way up in the zone, probably above the zone.
Yeah, I think it was above the zone. It was a high fastball. There are very few hitters in the league hit a high fastball better than Michael does. He got the ball up, looked like it might have had a little help from the wind. It definitely fooled Patterson in right field, who again was a defensive replacement. He was playing fairly shallow, trying to take away the base hit if he could. And as it turned out, he couldn't get back in time to catch the long fly ball that proved to be the game winner.
7th career walk-off for Michael Young, as the Rangers come up with 2 in the bottom of the ninth. And with 2 outs and a 1-2 count, Michael Young comes through. The Rangers take the first 2 of this series, 14 of their last 16. They lead the Angels again by 4 games in the American League West. John Radigan and Rangers Live on the other end of this after a memorable walk-off Saturday night in Arlington.